Turning now to the pandemic, more than 20,000 new COVID cases have been reported in the last 24 hours, and hospitalizations have soared by 708 admissions. That is more than double the national average. And another 227 Ohioans have lost their lives. It is a record no one wanted to break. The Ohio Department of Health confirming to us that today's 708 new hospitalizations, that's a new daily record during the pandemic. That makes more than 6,200 people currently hospitalized with coronavirus across our state. News 5's Clay LEPARD introduces us to some faces behind these numbers.
Nearly 2 years into the pandemic, and January 4th of 2022 now marks the most new hospitalizations across the state of Ohio in a single day. 708.
People that work in healthcare are very tired, and people are starting to leave healthcare.
For pediatric infectious specialist Dr. CLAUDIA HOYEN at University Hospitals, the burden on hospital staff has not let up.
The people that are typically ending up in the hospital, both here on the adult and the pediatric side, tend to be the people who are unvaccinated.
I wish most people would take it a lot more seriously than they are.
The hospitalization numbers mean a little more to 32-year-old BRENDON.
Had this recurrent cough. I couldn't smell or taste anything.
Back in May, we spoke with HREPIC, who, despite being fully vaccinated, still spent a week at Cleveland Clinic's Hillcrest Hospital because of COVID-19. He remembers seeing how the pandemic wore down hospital staff back then.
You could tell, and, to their credit, everybody I interacted with was, really doing their best to not, make those problems anybody else's problem. I can only imagine the level of burnout they were going through then, and I can't even imagine what it's like now.
There was a point in time just a couple weeks ago when government and medical leaders expressed hope that while the Omicron variant was spreading more quickly, it wouldn't pack quite the punch. Based on these new record hospitalization numbers, experts say that's not the case.
The situation is very serious.
John Palmer works for the Ohio Hospital Association, which represents about 245 hospitals and keeps track of COVID-19 patient statistics across the state. As the numbers continue to climb, Palmer warns the strain on our statewide healthcare system will only get worse.
Anything you can do, from vaccinations to boosters to wearing masks, social distancing, following the guidelines of isolation and quarantine, really makes a difference and will have a huge impact in us being able to turn this tide on the COVID-19 pandemic.
In Cleveland, Clay LEPARD, News 5.